and put any questions in there. And then we will wrap with how to get connected and some resources. I'll pass it to Zach to dive in.
Awesome. Thank you, Cam. So this is just a quick high-level overview slide. So for anybody that doesn't know, TikTok Ads Manager is a platform that allows businesses to create, manage, and track your advertising campaigns on the TikTok platform. It provides the tools for targeting specific demographics, optimizing your ad performance, and analyzing your campaign results to really maximize your marketing impact. And through the Data Standards Cloud, we offer a automated inbound connection with your TikTok Ads Manager. So we can connect to 3 different data streams. So we can sync in data from your campaigns, your ad groups, and your ads. This can help with avoiding manual exports if your team is doing any of that. It also helps with allowing you to pass data from TikTok downstream to your data lake or warehouse, as well as any analytics. It can help with validating your naming conventions against your marketing standards that you have implemented on a template. So we can bring in your naming conventions, we can validate those names, and then we also give you a place to correct them, and then get those final corrected names, be able to update them back in the media platform. It can also help with accelerating your data entry. It's a very easy to use integration with a secure API connection. We also offer field mapping, so you're able to map certain data fields that live in TikTok Ads Manager to certain fields in your Clarabine template. This is all automated and syncs 3 times daily or every 8 hours. So with that, we'll dive directly into the demo. Go ahead and share my screen. Cam, looks like you have it disabled.
You should be good.
Thank you. All right. So our first step is going to be to connect our TikTok account to the Data Standards Cloud. To do this, we'll go ahead and just log into our Clarabine instance. We're going to navigate to Settings. We're going to open up our integration sub-navigation and then click Accounts. Here you can see all of your connected accounts, but since we need to connect a new integration, we'll go ahead and click the blue plus symbol in the top right. You're going to give your account a name. We'll just use TikTok. Then you're going to select the TikTok icon followed by Save and Connect Account. It's going to automatically route you directly to TikTok, or you can enter your email and your password to log in, or you can log in with TikTok. So once you're logged in, you'll need to grant Clarabine permission to access your TikTok Ads Manager account. And by doing this, you can just click Confirm. And now your TikTok Ads Manager account has been connected to the Data Standards Cloud. So next, we're going to set up our inbound TikTok connector to our campaign template. I'm going to give my integration a name. I'm going to select my account, which is what we just connected. My data selection will be campaigns because I want to sync in data from the campaign level into my campaign template. And it's going to be automatically set to sync every 8 hours. Next, we're going to configure our field mapping. So you're mapping a field in TikTok to a field in your Clarabine template. So I have campaign name going to campaign name, campaign ID going to campaign ID. And then there's several other attributes that live at the campaign level in TikTok that I'm going to map and sync into this template as well. I'm going to do the exact same thing for my ad group template. There are several other attributes that live at the ad group level in TikTok. So I'm going to sync or map and sync those in at this level as well. Lastly, we'll do the exact same thing for our ad template. One thing to note at this level, you can also bring in your campaign ID and your ad group ID. So this allows you to join all of that data together at this lowest level. Once you've configured and you've saved those templates, the integration is going to automatically begin to sync. So next we need to find that inbound data. So we're going to navigate over to Submissions and then Pending. Pending is where you can find all of your inbound data. Here I can see those 3 TikTok templates that we just set up. And I'm going to go ahead and select my TikTok campaign pending submission. So this template is configured to use our split and extract functionality. So on that inbound campaign name, we're splitting on a delimiter. In this example, it's an underscore. And then it's validating each of those parameters against the configuration and the standards that you have set up on this template. This allows you to really easily find and correct any errors. There's also tons of filters that you can apply to each of the fields. So every column header has a filter capability. So if you want to work in a subset of that data, you can apply filters from equals to contains, starts with, ends with, to allow you to work in that subset of data. I'm going to go ahead and select all of these rows and then select edit in the top right. I'm going to correct all of my errors. Then at the end of this template, I can see my corrected campaign name. So once I make those corrections, it concatenates the campaign name again, and then allows you to implement that back in the media platform. So once I submit, it'll go through processing. I can download the data directly from my email. I can download it from the UI. I can copy and paste it. It's really whatever's easiest for that user. We'll go ahead and click submit. And next, we're going to do the exact same thing for our ad group pending submission. So we'll navigate in this one. This one's set up the exact same way. So we're using that split extract functionality. It's validating each of those parameters. I'm going to go ahead and select all of these rows and then edit in the top right again. And then in the edit view, I can see all my errors. So I can see the rows, the fields that need to be corrected. One thing to note is that the submit button will always be grayed out until all of the errors have been resolved. I'm going to go ahead and correct those errors again. And same thing as the campaign level, I have my corrected ad group names here at the end. So I can take these and implement them back into the media platform. And we'll click submit. It's going to go through the same processing. And then lastly, we'll navigate to our TikTok ad pending submission. Again, this template functions the same as the campaign and the ad group template, but it's also joining the data from those previous templates. So you can see I have my campaign ID, my campaign name, my ad group ID, my ad group name, as well as my ad data. So it's using these IDs as a key, and then it's bringing in the corrected campaign names along with all of that metadata associated to the campaign name and the ad groups. Another thing to note is that I'm also classifying my tracking code at this level. So I'm using a concatenation of my campaign ID, my ad group ID, and my ad ID to classify that tracking code so that I can map all of my metadata fields into classifications to send downstream. Same as before, I'll go ahead and select all of the rows and then click edit in the top right. Edit view, again, I can see all of my errors. I can see that product ads over here has a dash when it's not supposed to. I can very easily identify those, correct them, and then I have my corrected ad names here at the end. We'll click submit. That data is going to process just like previously. Upon completion, I now have a complete data set. So I have all of my campaign data, all of my ad group data, all of my ad data. I have a classified tracking code, and this data is now ready to be sent downstream to your data storage, your data lake, as well as your analytics for further analysis. And thank you for joining today's demo. I think we'll hop quickly into a Q&A session.
Thank you, Zach. Looks like we have a few questions in the Q&A. The first one is, do we have an outbound TikTok connection? Can you speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So not yet. Currently, Meta Ads and CM360 are going to be our connectors that have that bidirectional functionality. But we are always evaluating our customer needs, and this has been something that our product and engineering team has been looking into, but there is no timeline yet. But if this is something you would be interested in, please do let us know.
Awesome, thanks. And then we know that there's the auto sync 3 times a day. Can it sync more than 3 times a day?
Currently, it's pre-configured to sync 3 times daily. If you needed a manual sync, you could always reach out to our support team who can trigger that manual sync for you.
And then last question, if a customer doesn't use macro tracking codes, how would they be able to leverage this?
So if there is, so the macros is just an example here where you can kind of use the macros. So you don't have to enter a static tracking code on every ad. If you are generating those, if you have a Claravine template where you're kind of generating those tracking codes, we can generate them on an inbound integration template, or if there's templates that you're kind of creating your naming conventions and you're entering your metadata beforehand, we can generate a static tracking code there as well, if that's needed.
Awesome. Thanks for answering those questions. In the interest of time, we are going to share some resources, and anything we didn't get to, we will be sure to follow up in an email that will also contain this recording. Thank you for your expertise on our connector. If anyone has found this session useful and you're interested in getting your ads manager connected to Claravine, you can reach out to your Claravine contact. If you're unsure of who your main contact is, you can also submit a support ticket at any point in time. I will throw in the chat really quick a link to our page and how you can get connected to us. And other than that, we are all out of time, and that's all that we have. We will be sending out this recording and answering any